The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds worth of sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. All right, 14:20 in the morning for this 28th day of January 2024. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek.com. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all their great podcasts, great articles over there at BellyUp.com, BellyUpSports.com, and get your sports fix on a daily basis. Thank you very much to everybody who's been patient with us and still listens to the old shows and watch the old YouTube and everything else we got going on. Been a bit of a busy schedule with the new gig and everything with the Lethbridge Bulls WCBL here in Lethbridge. So I haven't been able to get these out on a regular basis like I hope, but I think I got everything, all the I's dotted and T's crossed on moving forward here, how we're going to get things going on a more consistent basis in January or in February, moving forward. But anyways, it's NFL Championship Sunday today. The Detroit Lions are looking to go to the first Super Bowl in team history. Haven't been to this game since 1991. That's 33 years ago for all you mathematically challenged people out there. It's an interesting thing. You watch. I watched Captain Lou Extravaganza today. I'm sorry to see Lou leave the Belly Up Network, but he's on to some different things, different passion, everything else. But you watch that and the enthusiasm that's coming out of Lou's voice. He's a big Detroit Lions fan, and it's funny. It's fun to watch that thing, and I think that's like when you see the enthusiasm in a sports fan's voice, and when their eyes twinkle a little bit more when their team has a chance to win. They that's what sports is all about, and that's what it's supposed to be like. And I think we lose our perspective a lot when it comes to the world of sports and becoming a fan and how you react to how it works on a daily basis. And you see some fans, they take things a little bit too seriously, and they lose sight of the fact that sports is entertainment. It's supposed to be an escape from day-to-day activities. The one thing about sports is that it's more real life than anything else that we have in this world. There's no backdoor deals. There's nothing going on. We should trust our athletes a little bit more. We'll get to that in half a second. Then we trust politicians, and the entertainment factor that we have for sports is just what it is. You don't have to look at what the artist was thinking when they either they wrote a song or drew a painting or whatever it might be. It's just what you see is what you get in the world of professional sports. There isn't anything different. It's just here it is, and this is what we got. And that's one thing that I've always, especially the older I get, that it's entertainment, and you're supposed to go out and enjoy it and take it for what it's worth. And then when it's over, you can just turn the page and say, okay, tomorrow's another game. I understand that football is a different beast. There's 17 games, and so every game means a little bit more. And you wonder if there were more of these raw football guys. You know what I'm talking about, the guys who flex and cheer and jump up and down and scream at the TV. If they were baseball fans, they probably wouldn't make it through a season, because 162 games, if you had that kind of enthusiasm through 162, you probably wouldn't make it. So maybe there's something to be said about being a more reserved and being a baseball fan than just being a crazy football fan. I'm a crazy baseball fan, I get it, but with baseball, you really have to pick your battles, I guess it is, and not really worry about that one game. What the triumph saying that song, "Don't worry about today, forget about tomorrow," or however that line went. Follow your heart. I think it was like 1984. Geez, that's a long time ago. That's 40 years ago for you mathematically challenged people out there. But it's funny with the world of sports and how people take it a little bit too seriously at times. They don't understand that it is, like I said, it is an entertainment based thing. You look at not that long ago, and Dave and I on the 1420 podcast, we talked a lot about the Edmonton Oilers and their bad start and how they were we were basically jumping off the ledge and going to hang ourselves by a noose and everything else. I mean, Dave is divorced from the Oilers. Now he's still friendly with them. He'll watch, and I don't know if he'll cheer when they get the playoffs, because it looks like they're a playoff team, obviously, with a 16 game winning streak. So it's funny how people can really they tear themselves apart and they get worked up over something, especially early in the season, like the Oilers were. But winning 16 in a row, that should cure all that ails you with your sports watching venture with the Edmonton Oilers, and you watch how that team's going and how they just seem to be rolling on and on. And it's weird how the NHL's got things set up now with the All-Star break, and then teams now have a season break now to rest their bones. So they're not going to play again till February I think it's February the 6th or something like that. So you won't see if they're going to break the Pittsburgh Penguins streak of 1992-93 when the Penguins won 17 in a row. And you wonder if they can do that with that team that's rolling right now. And then picking up Corey Perry, and he's got through his struggles, everything else, whatever was going on. Once again, it's none of our business. I've had people reach out to me, private DMs and stuff, what they've heard about Corey Perry. And it's funny how we all somehow know about what Corey Perry does when nobody actually knows the guy. But it's funny that we don't know what our neighbor's doing right next door or just over the fence. Like it's funny how people care about their athletes and their stars and everything else, that they don't really know what their neighbors are doing. I don't know if anybody watched what I put out there on YouTube from our recording on what was it, Thursday night, where Dave and I were talking about the Travis Kelce hand of the heart thing, and the put it up there on Facebook Reels or whatever it's called. And there was a lot of people that were they got a little bit angry with Brent Redlinski on that one. They weren't too happy with what I said about Travis Kelce and the hand of the heart thing. And I wasn't being rude to Taylor Swift at all. And I actually said at the end of the video, because people only watch snippets, right? So people were getting a little bit upset with me about that I was saying bad things about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, which wasn't true at all. I just basically said the hand and the heart thing is ridiculous and I hate it. That was it. It had nothing to do with the personality. It had nothing to do with all that. I thought it was a stupid move, but I don't want to get back on that train, because people were really upset with me on Facebook. And like I said, it's funny how people will snap back at you when you say things about their athlete or their favorite performer or whatever it might be, but they won't say anything about if you say something bad about their neighbor. It's just it's odd to me how that all works out. But getting back to sports, how it's you look at that Oilers team, you look at the Vancouver Canucks, how they're rolling, and people are still got some cautious optimism when it comes to their teams. They haven't done anything. The Oilers the Canucks have not won a Stanley Cup in their team history. 2011 they were there, but people are still pretty cautious, and they're a playoff team. They're going no matter what. It would have to be a failure of epic proportions, lose 35 in a row. So that ain't happening. The Canucks are going to the playoffs, but people still have their worries about that. And you just wonder why people get so worried about their team. It's nothing that you can control. Yes, you have cautious optimism. I get it, but you should enjoy it when you can, because you know what? All of a sudden the season's over, and then you have to look for next season. So when you have something going nice and going right, and you should utilize sports for what it is, and it's just sport. It's the most truest form of entertainment there is. There isn't anything that it's not written, it's not scripted. There's no nepotism when it comes to it, like in junior hockey and everything else, and kids sports. There is nepotism and the like, where people get hired and fired, and coaches get this and coaches get that. But with the professional sports, the best are playing, and you should just accept that teams are trying, and they're trying to win. Yes, some teams are trying a little harder than others, but it's the purest form of entertainment, and that's the thing. You should treat it as entertainment, because things can go south on you pretty quick, and all of a sudden you don't have it. And then watching a game, you should just treat it as a game and enjoy it while you can. Like Leafs fans are the same way right now. They're playing pretty good hockey. They're a good hockey team. Are they a Stanley Cup winner? I doubt it. I highly doubt it, but they won last night, and Winnipeg's got a good chance to win. We got 4 Canadian teams right now that have a chance of bringing Lord Stanley Cup the mug home this year. And the guys at Craft Root Sports are going to have to change the cups from back home from Canada. That Scott was saying with his when they're talking that hockey. So it's one of those things. It's just with sports, there's a lot of negativity that goes on with it, and a lot of stuff that's out of your control. And Dave and I touched on it pretty heavily the other night on our 1420 show about the Hockey Canada thing. And I'm not going to get into that end of things in depth here, obviously. But the thing about the when you're watching sports, you got to take it for what it's worth and realize that it is entertainment. You should go to a game or watch the game, have a couple of beers, and turn it off, because you can't control it. And it's supposed to be a way to not watch politics, is a way to not to worry about the bills for a few hours, not a way to not worry about what the kids and everything else. And you can just get away from life for a few hours, but eventually you have to get back to real life. And these guys who smash their TVs and they rip up their jerseys and burn their jerseys, I don't get it. Like, it's always been a weird thing to me to watch that, and you're going, well, why? What did that accomplish? Like, why are you doing that on a game to game basis and slapping things around and getting angry when you know what? These guys don't know you and you don't know them, and you got to go to work next day anyways. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like, you really got to be careful with athletes or anybody in general. You can't leave guys up on a pedestal, because you put people on a pedestal, you're probably going to get disappointed. Role models, Charles Barkley said it years ago, I'm not a role model, and it's coming more and more to fruition these days with the no role models, because you look at the Hockey Canada thing, those 5 players, and one of the players was Carter Hart. That it hasn't been officially named yet, but he's away from the team, and it's pretty much it's been one of those things. And my brother's family, they're Flyers fans, and there's a family tie to the Philadelphia Flyers, and with the goaltender Carter Hart and everything else, there are some there is some ties to that. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to them and how they feel about the whole situation, and because they have daughters and they have this, like, so you wonder if, like, okay, you put a guy on a pedestal like they have with Hart, and I get it, but sometimes they let you down, and it's been going on in sport for a long time, and that's why you really got to watch it. You look at like the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson. I don't want to get into that whole spiel again, but that's another thing, that he was allowed to do whatever he wanted. He got a bunch of money, and on it goes. And you look at the Vince McMahon situation with the WWE that came down this week. There's another guy that got away with a lot of really, really bad stuff for a really long time, and this isn't the first time where he's been accused of something, but this one is going to a whole nother level. And John Laurinaitis is the other guy, so people shouldn't just say it's Vince McMahon that was doing, but it was one of those. You look at a guy like you even go as far back as Mike Tyson, when he was heavyweight champion of the world. He was doing some, like, people put him on a massive pedestal. Yeah, there was some mental stuff going on with Tyson, but you really got to watch what the people that you put on a pedestal, and the people you put the posts on your wall or whatever it might be, and the people you defend for no apparent reason. It's just sport. It's just entertainment. Watch the game, then turn it off, and then be upset or be happy that your team won. And that's what it really should be. Or be happy if they won, upset if they lost. Sorry, I twisted my own words there. It's just trying to look past what these guys are and defend who these guys are. We have no business doing that. And it's unless you know what's going on a daily basis, we have no idea what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that gets caught up in the whole thing. And when you start defending people that you don't know, most times it comes back to bite you with that. So you just got to really, really watch that, and just take sports for, like I said, for what it is, and make sure that you are doing it for the right reason. And that's kind of one of the things that I've learned the last couple of weeks. And it's something I've talked about this a lot with other people in the past, but it's one thing we've been talking about a lot with the Lethbridge Bulls here. I've kind of taken on that position at the office there, is that let's give the fans an entertainment value, bang for their buck, to come to the park and then watch a game, and that's it. Because the thing with that league, it's a Summerwood Collegiate Baseball League. Yeah, the players they compete, they put in a lot of effort, and then the fans they're excited, and when the team's doing well, the more people will come. But at the end of the day, it's just an entertainment value that they're coming. We want them to get bang for their buck and have a good time. And that's one of the biggest things that people really, really got to do when they get the chance to go to an event or watch a game, is to not take it too seriously. And when you think about how you felt before the game with the enthusiasm and everything else, because you think that the Detroit Lions, I think they're 7.5-point dogs right now. They have a good chance they're going to lose today. But you hope that if they do, like I'm actually I'm a Niners guy, but I'm actually hoping the Lions win just for the reason that people are enthused by it and they're having a good time. And you think that like if the Lions lose today, you hope that the fan base doesn't turn on them, and and it says it was the best season we've had in 33 years, and we enjoyed it. It was fun, and we can look forward to next year and not be negative and smashing TVs and rioting in downtown Detroit or whatever it might be, because that's idiotic to do those kind of things. So you hope that people really put things into perspective, especially with the way you have a couple of bucks in the economy and the general consensus with the government and stuff, and to watch sports, it's supposed to be an escape from all that. And I know just me alone, and Deanne can she can attest to this with me for sure, 100%. Is when I'm at home or on the weekend, if I get caught down those rabbit holes and watch things on YouTube that are government based and politically biased, my mood changes a lot, and it's not as I'm not as festive, I guess, as I should be. So it's really interesting to see how just my mood change goes unless I'm playing some music and have a game on, or listen to a podcast and have a game on, and having my mind distracted with that kind of stuff. But when I put the other stuff on, how my mood changes, and because I'm the kind of a sports fan that when my team loses, yeah, I'm upset, but then tomorrow I go, you know what, I got to go to work, or I got to get the entertainment out, the masses and everything else. I can break away from the whole winning and losing thing a little more, because I use it for entertainment purposes. And it's funny how sport can be more of an like for a lot of people, it's not entertaining. They're so nerved up and revved up, and they're mad, and they're psychoanalyzing everything that's going on when they have no control over it. Like you can control shoveling your walk, you can control cleaning your house, you can control all that stuff. But when it comes to sports, just watch it. Just watch it and enjoy it. And when the game's over, yeah, be upset for a little bit, crack another beer when it's over, and say, you know what, we'll get them either next week, tomorrow, or next season. Because getting crazy and getting mad about it and holding athletes to a higher level than you're holding yourself or your neighbors, it'll come back to bite you, as we've seen in the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, with the Hockey Canada thing's been going on for a long time. The Deshaun Watson, like I said, the Vince McMahon thing that came down just a couple of days ago. So just watch the games, enjoy it for what it is, that it's entertainment, and that's it, because these guys don't owe you nothing, and you don't owe them anything. If you want to wear a hat, buy a shirt, whatever, that's on you. These guys, the owners, they say they care, they don't. They're in it for money, and that's it. And don't for 1 second pretend that they're not, because that's what it's all about. The advertising dollars, and on it goes. Enjoy it, have a good time watching it, but don't take it too seriously. And take it for entertainment value. Listen to our podcast or wherever's podcast that talks about the game, and doesn't break it down, but just have their own emotions about it, because that's the biggest thing about it, that we do this stuff. The emotion of it all. That's kind of why I really enjoy doing this thing, is because you can let the emotion come out a little bit and just talk about that kind of stuff, where you can just name, and here's why I liked it. No, we're not gonna sit here and break down this guy and that guy and some pass and everything else, or why a team lost. You go, no, I liked it, and this guy sucked, and that guy sucked, and that's it. And we can say that kind of stuff, but you really got to watch what you who you put on the pedestal, because they'll come back and bite you. And it's almost there's 99% of these guys. Oh, that's a pretty high number, I think. Maybe 95% of these guys who you watch and everything else. Yeah, they're role models, and they get it. Guys like Sidney Crosby, he gets it. Never been in trouble. Guys like Jeter, yeah, he had some pretty different stuff going on in his not different. Like he just he kept his friends close, his enemies closer, and everything else. And just one of those things, he never got himself into trouble. That was out to the masses. And so you can put guys on pedestals at the end of their careers, and then when their careers are over, you know what? If nothing comes out, nothing comes out. Don't go looking for it. And so those are guys that you can say, you know what, this guy was a solid, classy guy. But then, like when things come out later on that they might have been doing during their career, then you can make that judgment of how you feel about that. But like I said, in general, it's supposed to be for entertainment. It's supposed to be fun. It's unpredictable. Anything can happen. Any given Sunday, any given Monday, any given day of the week, one team can beat another. And to get upset about it and smash your TV and burn in jerseys, don't do that. It's ridiculous to even think that would be something that you would do, because you know what? You got to go to work and got to make a bunch of money again to buy another TV. So don't be going and doing that. Don't be going and rioting when the team loses. It's to be upset. I get it. To go to another level, I'll never understand that. Sports about entertainment, and that's all it's supposed to be. And make sure you guys you put that in perspective and learn more about your neighbors than what a guy in a podcast says. Okay, That's one thing. Every time that you, I mean, it's just funny. Like I'll get a little bit upset, not upset, but I just find it funny how people will react to certain comments, and like I'll find them and I'll post them. I'll put them up there. Like it doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't bother me when someone disagrees with me, because that's what, like, I put myself out there, so whatever. It doesn't bother me at all. But there's some that are just so ridiculous that they get so mad about something that I just, like I said, I just made a comment about Travis Kelce, and his heart on his hand signal, heart and hand thing. I don't even want to do it. It's so cringeworthy to me. But there was a lot of people yesterday on Facebook who just they had to tell me how stupid I was. Yes, I had a few beers, because that's what it's 14:20. It's 4 beers worth of sports talk, right? So it was one of those things. But it's just funny the defense that people come to people that they're never going to meet, and they feel the need to comment on every little thing you do, liking and sharing and hating and this hate. Like, it's just funny. It's just funny to me. Anyways, there's that's it for today, guys. We're going to be back on a regular schedule. Going to do another one later on today with the Yankees things. I'll be probably tomorrow how the Yankees did so far this offseason. Dave and I are back tomorrow night, as always, on Mondays and Thursdays. Got some other things going on that's going to be a lot of fun in February and moving forward now that the schedule's all straightened out, because it's been a bit hectic. A bit hectic with the baseball team and everything else, but it's been a lot of fun. And kind of, when people we kind of were laughing about the other night when you say you live in the dream. Well, I kind of am all of a sudden, where I got a job in baseball, and I got the sports podcast going on and everything else. So it's a lot of, it's been a sloth, it's been a struggle, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. So, but now I guess I am kind of living the dream. So it should be a lot of fun moving forward. We got a lot of things in plan for the upcoming months ahead. So make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel today. Help us get to that 500 subscriber thing. That's where there's a monetary thing involved. We're not getting rich by any means. Don't get me wrong. But we get to that 500 mark. That helps. And then make sure you tell people about the show, and because the word of mouth always spreads a lot better than just me tweeting and putting things on Facebook. Because for every one good Facebook thing you get, that's another funny thing. Like, if people like it, they just go, all right, that's good, and then they just flow away. But if someone doesn't like it, they become keyboard warriors, and it's every time. It's every single time. And it's quite funny that, because there's no way that everybody who listens to our show hates it. Like, it's just one of those things. Most do. I'm kidding around. But anyways, that's it for 14:20 in the morning. Enjoy the games today, whatever you might be watching. If you're watching some football, some women's hockey, whatever it might be, whatever you might enjoy the games. But remember, like I said, take it for what it's worth. It's entertainment, and that's it. Comment, like, share, all that stuff. Thank you very much for listening to 14:20 in the morning. And remember, it doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. Have a good day, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get into it.